Okay, so it's been a little bit of time. Things are settling, things are running, filters are going all the time. As we see over here, inventory collected on 6 of the 7, managing agent installed on 7, discovered 7. Down here we see agent rollout. None of them are requiring the agent. We still see one machine that has not inventoried. So if we click on it, it's the old box called Altiris. It's just a SQL Server 2016 box now. So no biggie there. All right, so this software delivery. Uh, I don't use the catalog. I never have. I do want to read about it. Talking to one of the Symantec reps because we have to change our environment from SQL Server to from SQL 2008 R2, not SQL, sorry. It's from Server 2008 R2 to eventually Server 2016. He was saying if you use a software catalog, you can move it a lot easier. So I'm not sure how that works. What I usually do is I just go software. So there's also another piece. So first you import your software and then you can create a policy. And at the policy level, you can assign computers. Now, an interesting thing about that is it gets to be a little cumbersome. So one thing we've done from the NS6 days is we create a filter in addition. And by doing that, you can coordinate a little better your deployments and have a better idea what targets. I'll try and show you what I mean by that. All right, install various cabs as we go. New install on a client machine. So let's give that another shot. Import software. Okay. So like I said, you can use the software library. I typically don't. If you had a, let's say in your lab, let's say you had free NAS set up, you could use that as well as your repository. And it says, well, UNC. You could do a URL. I always just do access from a directory on a notification server. So in this case, well, it's right there. We'll just go to notification server now. You could probably do UNC path where you would do this, okay, and into where you want. What I do is I actually don't do NSCAP. I'll do whatever drive, and then you just gotta chug on down. Notification server, NSCAP. What is this? Empty folder. Not sure what that is. All right, so here's our file we want. All right, so we're gonna take this, put it here. Of course, we gotta get rid of this. I usually clean it up in the IE window. And it already found it. And as you see, set installation. There's only one file, so and it was an exe, so it automatically took it. As you see, you can tell what is not. Now, if you go to hit next, it'll tell you that one was not specified. Do you want to continue? No. Set installation file, hit next. It'll do its best on trying to read things. Now, update an existing software resource. Now, see, this is something else. I would normally just click create a new software, and I wouldn't even have it update if it found it. But we're going to go ahead and maybe in the catalog it'll clean up. So we hit OK. See what we get with this. I also added more processors and more RAM to my SQL. I also went into SQL and told it not to use more. I added 16 gig of RAM. I told SQL not to use more than 15. Okay. Oh, internet pop-up options for site. Always allow. Sorry if you hear noises in the background. I'm in the basement. My son's upstairs on the Xbox. They're playing Mortal Kombat, him and his best friend. It's 11, so yeah, they get a little loud. Alright. Because it blocked the pop-up, it should have brought this window up. Okay. Let's see what we got. This window looks pretty much the same. I don't remember the icon before. All right, so install. Let's edit this. All right. Let's also bring up, actually, come on. I'm gonna close this one. Did not want to bring it up on this. All right, so like giving it a name. We'll do SQL Management. I forget what's actually is it actually called. Let's do this. Go back because I know it's installed on SQL Management Studio, Management Console. I like to get the name a little better. So you only have to set it up once. I have to go back and rename. SQL Server Management Studio. Okay. Alright, SQL Server Management Studio. Let's do install. Alright, so now I know just running this is going to ask questions. So let's, that's why I brought up another tab. Actually, this popped up in a whole new separate window, so let's do this. Install SQL Server Management Studio 2017 command line. Download, getting started. Oh, install from command prompt. Here we go. This looks good. It's 16, but should still be the same. Install, quiet, no restart, log. Alright, well, we'll just take this part. Alright. Same exact file name there too, so that kind of helps. Put a space, we'll throw that in. Actually, there's one extra space. And another thing I do typically, 0, 1641. I forget why 1641. I think I looked up one time. And 3010, 0 is success in most software. 3010, successful pending reboot. I forget what 1641 is. I don't usually use a failure code. I'll run the job and take a look and see what else is a success code and add it as I go. So we're good here. We'll say OK. All right. So we have that. We also come up here. Another thing, it's kind of annoying. Maybe there's a default setting in 7.6 is when you come up here, you get this page originally. You don't get this package server tab when you first do the software. Now, package servers automatically with manual pre-staging is default. I don't like that. I always choose all package servers. We've got 11 other package servers, no, 17. And when I go in, it doesn't like the manual pre-stage. I think what happens in that situation is when a client computer requests, then the server goes, oh, let me go get that for you. Nah, I'd rather have it on all the package servers ready to go. So here's this. Now, we could do rules, detection rules, applicability. So I'll give an example. If I don't want this on servers at all, let's do, is there a desktop? No. Windows. I did Windows, I did Workstation. All right, well, we can create our own. We'll just do new. And we're going to say just Windows 10. Windows 10. Let's run allow. We'll leave it. It's fine. Let's see what did it want to run. Go back to rules. New. Actually, let's double check. 10. Win Microsoft. Applicability rule. It's under browse. Here we go. 104. Sue Linux. Patch manager. Okay, so inventory plugin. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do our own. New. Windows 10. And we will do, let's take a look. Smart role. 64-bit. Windows version. Alright. Match all specified. Let's do, now, not quite sure how this is going to work. 1709. Major. Oh, you know what we can do? We actually look back in the console. Alright. Usually I'm a little better prepared when I'm doing my stuff at work. And, well, it's also your environment. You know it a lot more. Things are already set up. Can't, oh, that's right. It's IE. Let's go here. Manage. Don't want to. Now we'll just put another tab. I don't want to mess with changing that one. So if we go manage. So another thing I learned is when you do manage and you click these, it does a full refresh of what's over here. So when you bounce around here, like that just refreshed, right? So the software list. Now if you go to computers and you go back to software, it'll happen quickly because it doesn't do a refresh when you use these guys. All right, so let's take admin PC. Let's see, OS 10 Pro. All right, so we have 10.0. I was going to put 10.1. Glad I did not. So let's do 10.0. I'm going to assume. NT workstation. Say OK. Say OK. All right. Come on. All right, saying, let's do that again. It's saying it took too long. Add standard rule, Windows version 10.0. Okay. Duh. Windows 10. Say workstation. Really? It already did create it. Okay. Now I don't use these at all. File inventory. Software publishing is for software portal. While we're, you know what? I'll do another video on that one day. We don't use the software portal because it delivers software via tasks, and tasks purge after 2 weeks, and we don't purge any of our software delivery records. We need to know what is done on what machines when, so we haven't used this. So this is something I'm definitely going to look into because this would really be nice for us if there's a way I could get it to actually report 2 years later, a year later. So anyway, all right, so let's say we're good to go. We don't need a detection rule. So detection rule, you could find out the GUID or whatever you want for this piece of software, and it would bypass it. What that's good for is in a policy. If let's say you require .NET 4.5, well, you can have one policy. It would detect .NET 4.5. The detection rule detects it and it bypasses it. If it doesn't detect it, it would install it. So that way you're not trying to bump software over top of itself. All right, package. I want to see something. So another thing that's drop down I use a lot is update distribution points. If I got to come back in here and make some modifications, copy files or something, I'll do that. I'll tell the client that tells the package servers something's changed. All right, well, there's nothing else here, so let's go ahead and say okay. So it took a lot longer than it should. Failed to save software resource. Why? Maybe because it took me too long to do that too. All right. Let's go back here. Let's edit. See, trying to do a video, you'll tend to sit back. All right. It took all that. That's good. Let's see if it kept package servers all. That's good. Rules did not keep that. Windows 10. Let's say okay. There, I liked it a lot better there. Computer SQL install date. So look, so because we actually chose something, I believe it was already in the catalog. See, Microsoft SQL Server. Let's take a look at that real quick. Microsoft SQL Server 1214. SQL Server 17. There's the here's our guy here. Let's move this over to manage software. And see, this is why I've never used it, because you got all this stuff to fill out. I'm not doing that. So, oh, actually filled it out for me. Include components, meter. We can meter on it if we wanted to. You'd have to actually assign a piece. Delivery, licenses. Okay. Category. Desktop application. I wonder if you can create a new one. Lab tools. You don't need a description. All right. Say okay. There we go. Now it's here. Now, close this. Now, like I said, you can come over to policies, software, manage software delivery, new. We'll create it, but I'm not going to assign it yet. I'll start saying I'm not show you what I mean by the targets. Okay, so here we'll go software, SQL. Okay. Now we need to keep this checked off because we told it it's only for Windows 10. And they still haven't changed. I would love if you could hover over this and it would tell you what it would pop up what you're checking against, because that tells you absolutely nothing. Now, if you had multiple command lines, you had an install and uninstall, inventory, whatever, you could choose that from there. The package, I've only assigned one package to a piece of software, never multiples, so I've never had to play around with that. Now, here is where you can choose who you want to install from. Now, what I typically do is leave whether or not users logged in. I usually do hidden. And we're going to go ahead and do that here. Now, so sometimes your command line switches. You don't have to worry about. Now, what we wanted with the other one was silent, because we wanted it silent so it didn't ask questions. Like next, accept, and all that stuff. Now, if you want to see that interface and you have that with command lines to make it where you don't have to answer anything, you would choose normal. So for now, I just want it hidden. Now, when you have multiple things inside of a inside of a policy, and one of them fails, you have an abort. All right, terminate after 5. We'll do 30 minutes. All right. Now there is a spot that you can set this default, which I found in 7.6. I gotta find it in here now. All right, so we're there. Schedule. We're going to do this as the user must run it. We're not going to have it where as soon as it checks in, it deploys. So this is going to be a tool that we can install on the ones we want, because if not, it would go to all Windows 10 boxes. So, and what I like doing is putting a star, SQL Server Studio Management. The heck do we call it? Can't even think straight. Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Install. And we'll throw Microsoft. So I put a star because in the Altiris agent, stuff will end up in alphabetical order. You put a star, you can group all your stuff for your guys if you're not using software portal. You can add a schedule, but because we said they must turn it on, you really don't need the schedule. Now, the applied to, this is what I was talking about. You can sit here and you can say target, and you can do you can create targets here. But what I like doing, we'll save this. I'll bring up this other tab, manage filters. Did I pull that out? Yeah, I pulled that out of there. All right, new folder, same thing. You can put stuff wherever you want inside this console in any of these folders, but it gets lost. How do you find it later? So what I do is I'll create a folder. Now when you look, it'll always be at the top. New folder, application. And you can organize this however you want. Microsoft. New filter. New filter. I'm going to call this Microsoft SQL Management Studio 17 static targets. Okay. So we're just going to have it on one machine. Update filter. Gotta save first. There we go. My machine is there. Now, we're going to close this window out. We'll come back to the policy. Specify computer groups user, specify schedule to check for compliance. Okay, that's a little different. Usually I could get away with this, but all right. So now we'll do apply to target and it's a little target. Let's cancel computers. No recently used targets. Can you not use filters anymore? All right, let's do this. If I do apply to target, let's do Windows 10. Well, I don't like that. Oh, Microsoft SQL. Help if I did it right. Still not there. All right, I'm going to try one other method. So if you leave this, all right. Let's see. So if you come over to computers, I'm going to see what happens here. We take our computer and we drag it down here to policies. Come on. And then we bring it up to here. Okay, so this, we're able to add a computer that way still. I don't like the drag and drop methods. You drop it on the wrong thing. Okay, here is, now if you choose, this is what I don't like. When you manually add physical machines here, you can click computers and you see it, but you can't do anything here. Back on this tab, when you got a filter, you've got more here. You can right click. Yeah, you got options to do. You got your save as a spreadsheet. But when you come over here, you can't do anything. So anyway, so it's interesting I couldn't add a filter. What happens if I do all machines? Yeah, definitely don't want to do that. So let's delete that. Now, edit. So look at that. It wants to create a new name. Start with computer, exclude computers not in that. So exclude computers not in filter, Microsoft. And there's our filter. This is the way I'm used to doing it. And this is going to be interesting. Include only managed computers. That's cool. Update. Okay. Enable this. Save it. Specify a schedule. You suck. Used to never have to before. So add schedule. We'll do schedule time. Throw a 1 in there. As I said, at least in 7, the guy told me not to leave zeros for some reason. Sometimes there's an issue. Oh, user must turn on. So it didn't save that. I wonder if that's why, but alright. So there we go. Alright, because our license policy start time is in the past, so it'll immediately go. Policy was saved successfully. If we bring up our agent, software delivery, we hit update config. There she is. See that? Just sit there, didn't launch, it's just sitting there waiting. So let's take a look. There's your GUID. Nothing's gone, so we're good. We're going to go ahead and install it, so let's click install. Okay, it detected that it was Windows 10. Okay, you can double click. You can do download history. There you go, it's at 83% downloading, where it's getting it from. That's done. We've moved on to the installer. As you see nothing on the screen. Sometimes you want stuff to be seen so people know it's installing, especially the techs if they're building a new machine. Yeah, for Office, I'll have it show with no cancel button. Where did that go? Did it install? It says failure. Okay. So now, yeah, it won't be in the list. Nope, not here. Okay, so it failed with 1626. Let's see what we got. Error function not called. Alright, so this is typically, that's how you would typically set up a package that would work. Now, when you're troubleshooting like this, excuse me, sorry about that, you can do a few things. Alright, so let's break it down. We're going to need that in a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our local machine, C drive, program files, Altiris agent, agents, software management, software delivery. Okay, everything still stayed the same there. Now all these are what's been deployed to this machine so far, which could be any of the Altiris agents, sub-agents. So what we're looking for is under Details tab, that very first one, 7E8. 7E8 cache, there it is. Now if we look up here, what's in a log? Alright, so that is the download, that is fine. Snap data, see what's in this. Alright, that's that. Trying to see if I can steal the command line out of here. And no, I can't. Okay. That's fine. So what we'll do is over here is the command line. Right here. So what I'll do, I'll go in the cache directory, take this, copy it, cd/d for directory, paste, we're in. Can close, minimize, SSMS setup. Just hit enter. First of all, let's see if it runs. There we go. That might be my problem right there. UAC. So we'll say no. Let's come on. All right. Actually, this is the view I like. Okay. I don't think we have to reboot. So now what we can do is come back here, relaunch it, see what happens. Okay. I clicked on it, so it should highlight wherever it is. Ah, failed again. So let's do this again. Okay. Restart required in order to say what? Did it really install with no switches? Microsoft, I don't see it. It should show up here, right here at the top. No, it did not install. Let's we're gonna go ahead and restart anyway. Everything is saved, so we're good. Alright, I'm gonna let this thing do its thing and I'll be right back. Alright, let's give us another shot. Just reboot, logged in. Go eat lunch in a little bit. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's see if it'll just take it from here after reboot or not. See if it fails pretty quick. Alright. Alright, let's see what goes. Looks like it's going now. So that could have been a couple things. One, UAC and needed a reboot, most likely. Oh, it's the wrong browser. Won't work in that. Yeah, I think we're good now. I see MSI exec. I think we're good. I think it's going now. Alright. No need for you to sit here and see a lot of nothing going on. So I'm going to pause this. Okay, look at that. It says success. It took some time. So now it finally went on its own. Take a look. Yep, looks like it's here. It's right there, matter of fact. We're going to pin that to start right there. Get rid of some of these, whatnot later. But let's go down Microsoft, SQL Server. All kinds of stuff in here. Alright, but I usually use this one. Alright. So, that was a quick one. The next up, we're going to do one more in this video. Why not? We're going to go ahead and try and do a software catalog. Let's see. Let's do 7-zip. Alright. Alright, we're going to do MSI. I like deploying because it's nice, easy command line switches. I'll do /QN for hidden, /QB exclamation point, or also known as bang. So QB bang, and so I'm doing mainly 64-bit. But QB bang will just give a basic screen and no cancel button. Let's do save. Yeah, 64. So I don't see an actual 32-bit 64. There's no 32 and 64 combo, so alright. Open folder. Actually, I could have just stuck it out there. So now, from my understanding, the software catalog, you don't need to do this because it's not going to need to be here. But we're going to put it here anyway. 7-zip. Alright. Let's just minimize that, minimize this. Let's see if we can connect SQL. There we go, we're in. So that worked nicely. Alright, V computer. What? Select star from V. Computer? Doesn't exist? VAEX. Oh, you know what? There's different databases. So, now that we're on that, oh, it's up here. That's a little better. There's no way they got rid of that. So, all right. Oh, so look at that. So remember how I did the 10.0, but I also checked off workstation, not server. So you can kind of filter down. All right. Anyway, let's get back over here. Minimize this one. Keep wanting to launch Edge. All right. Manage software catalog. Actually, I don't think we have to do it through catalog. I think we can right click here. So you can add it here, I believe. Newly discovered. We're not going to do this. We're going to, the way I know it, software release, software product. I don't know which one to put under, but whatever. Let's do import. Software library. Add file. Oh, yeah, see? It didn't need to be out there on the server. Let's get up here, 7-zip. Alright. Also set it as the installation file. Next. Alright, 7-zip. We'll leave part of that. Create a new resource. Okay. So you can use JPEGs, PNGs, so just curious. So package. Hey, look at all this. /IQN, no UI. Install. For all users, all users. So we're going to edit the all users. And we're going to come down here. /QB bang. 016413010. It did the same exact thing. Look at that. Alright, install. Let's see. Install 7-zip for all users. Roles. Ah, look at, and they already set up the detection rule. Let's see what do they have. They're detecting by the GUID, by product code. All right. Applicability rule. We don't care. We're gonna let it go on anything. Actually, we're gonna deploy it to all. File inventory. They didn't set anything else up here. Okay. We'll say okay. Now, because we're gonna deploy to all, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go. We can go back to policies. Manage software delivery. Import. No, sorry. New. Manage software delivery. Because I'm going to consider this a deployment. The other one I consider as a software install for the text. All right, turn this on. Software. 7-zip. Deploy 7-zip. x64. All right. Oh, look at that. So that one actually lists out. I wonder what I got to do for that. All right, so here's where we got to double check. We want 7-zip for all users. Advanced. Until I set this setting. Continue. All right. And you can leave those over there alone. Now, targets. Let's see what we have. Windows. Computers. All non-Windows. all Windows. Let's do Windows computers with software. This is my typical one I always default to, with software update plugin installed, because it can't deploy if it doesn't have the software update agent installed, the plugin. Schedule. We will add a schedule. Make it 1 o'clock today, and immediately install. Save. Now I'm going to bring this up here to show you. So I was already poking around a little bit earlier. So under jobs and tasks, so like I said, sometimes you can consider NS as a now tool. So we just set that up. That's going to go when this computer checks in the next time. But there's an update client configuration. I think it's under notification server. Well, let's just cheat. Update. So it was under notification server right here. I right click cloned it and I moved it up top. But you come over here. I also ran it against all machines. Let's just do a start now. You should see this guy check in. They're queued. Yep, let's see that. And there's deploy 7-zip. Okay. It's going. And it says it's done. Okay, there we go, 7-zip. So that's another way you can deploy. I like that. So it's kind of a now type thing, but it's still through software delivery. And let's go to reports. So there's a report here I found earlier. Software delivery status all instances. And this will tell you. Now I've modified this to be a better report for have like site, building, and all that stuff. But this way you could actually have it as an automation policy as a software delivery failures in the last day. And I'll know what machines failed what piece of software in the last day. So now look at all the machines here they installed as well. So this is while we were playing around earlier. All right, well, hopefully that helped out a little bit on how to deliver software through Altiris. Actually, before we go, I'm curious. I do know I set up test lab. What is this? So this is how software catalog works. See, I like this better because I know what it is from out here. Now think about it, if you've got 1,000 pieces of software and it's this, now you got to do a search for what you want. Although it is in the catalog, so it would make it easy. 7-zip. All right. Move that over here as well. Let's manage software. All right. Well, we'll figure out something else to do later.